Welcome to my drawing advent calendar. Every day until Christmas you'll get a drawing tip or a little mini drawing lesson. Click on the bell to be reminded. Have fun and a wonderful holiday season. Today we are drawing a section of a leather collar. We draw the leather structure and the seam. We will draw the stitches of the seam. So let's start here. We draw here this section of the collar. So let's start here with the outline. So we are sketching in here the outline of the collar. So let's draw this here freehand. Then we have here the seam with white stitches. Here it's the same too. I sketch in here the line where then the stitches will be, and here we have the holes. So let's try to draw those holes in the center here, that the distances are the same both. Then the next hole will be here. Yes. Okay, then I would say yes, we work here on top. We draw here, the line here should be black. The stitches then will be below. Here we can start to bring in a little bit of the black color. The same is here below. So we are mapping in here first a little bit of the black, and let's mix it with a gray. So we can work here a little bit with gray, because here the leather is then reflecting a little bit the light, and you don't have to draw the black leather totally black. You can bring in grays, blues and so on. Here we are mapping in black again. The holes are really black. I use here a black Rembrandt, because the Rembrandt black, in my opinion, is darker black and more has a richer black than, for example, the Carputello. So most times I use for very deep areas the Rembrandt black. Here I'm blending this. You can also use Schminke or Unison color if you have some soft pastels. They have a deeper black than the pencils. Let's blend the first layer here around the holes, so you can see the holes are darker. Then this black I have here applied with the Carputello. So let's blend this together, the same here too. Let's blend the first layer. We can do this with the fingers too, and on the edges here with the paper stamps. So we have a first base layer now. Then we can work on the structure of the leather, and then on the stitches here of the seam. Here we can create smoother transitions to the background, so let the color fade out here a little bit. So, okay, then I would say we are choosing a white. So let's take the white pastel pencil, keep it sharp, and then let's try to draw those stitches here. And they are below the black line here, so we are drawing here, so short strokes. They should have all the same length. So be patient here. that they get nearly the same length. Okay, the same then we do here below. I'll go here to the right and to the left sometime, so that the white is becoming really white. So I move the pencil to the right and to the left. I try that those stitches have nearly the same length. Okay, yes, so then let's take a black pastel pencil. And let's work around the stitches. So let's add here a buff shadow. So let's add here above more of the black. And the same here between the stitches, there should be shadow and really there should be black. So I draw with the black pencil here between those white stitches. The same we do here. You can also correct a little bit the lengths of the stitches here while you're doing that, and you can control if they have the same length and so on, or you can correct one then and so on. Let's bring in a little bit of black here above. When I'm drawing here over the letter, I draw in little circles, and so draw in circles and try to create here the structure of the letter. Okay, I will use the white again and correct here one stitch. So you can go over it again and correct some of those if you are not satisfied, but I think yes, that's all right. So okay, then let's work with a gray. So I choose now a light gray. Let's work here around the holes. So here we have light reflections. You can bring in here light reflections with a light gray, cold gray here, for example. The same here too, so bring in here some lights, and then let's work on the leather here. I'm using a circling motion here with the gray. Here you have also a little bit of shine on the color, light reflections, glanes, so bring in here a little bit of light gray, and then I'm using a little bit of the indigo blue, so we can also bring in a little bit of the blue here, mix in a little bit of a bluey color, then go over it again with the light gray in while I'm drawing very fine thin circles. I'm moving the pencils in a circling motion here and bringing in a little bit of the light gray. I'm using very low pressure. Let's push the pigment into the paper. You can also work with a darker gray. Let's bring in here a darker gray, then you don't have to be so careful to use less pressure. Yes, then let's add here more highlights around the hole here. Let's lighten up here this part. Okay, then let's work here. So this part here of the collar of the leather is a little bit frayed, so let's draw here a structure with strokes. So I'm using here gray strokes. Bring in here a little bit of this frayed structure. The same here too. It's rougher, it's not such a smooth surface as you have here. So let's bring in here a little bit of the leather texture. Then let's use the black too, and let's draw in here some of those little frays here with black. The same here too. Then let's go over it with a white very gently, and let's bring in here a little bit of the white. So I try to create here this little frayed leather edges here, these strokes and little things, so to create the rougher surface, rougher texture here. The same here too. If the contrast is too high, I will push the pigments here into the paper with the paper stamp, so I don't want that there are too light strokes on it. So we push the pigment into the paper and yes, and decrease the contrast a little bit here. Blend this little texture a little bit. Yes, then let's add with white. Let's add here again a little bit of, here some highlights, and here too let's add some light reflections again here. So the hole should stay round. I have to correct this a little bit. Okay. Here we always have a little bit. So yes, push the pigments a little bit into the paper and so on. Okay, yes, so I think this little part of the collar, of the leather collar, looks good now, so I'm satisfied here with the result. We can stop it now. Yes, I hope you find that helpful for your own work. If you have questions, feel free to ask me, send me a message. I would appreciate to answer you. Have fun with drawing today.